What's up? Welcome to the Tedeschi Trucks podcast. This is episode number 48, and I am Adam Choit. To follow this show, it's at Tedeschi Trucks podcast on Instagram, and I'm at Adam Choit on Instagram as well if you want to follow me. And of course, I have no affiliation with the band. This is not an official podcast for the band or anything. I am just a fan. And if you're listening, I'm guessing there's a good chance that you might be too, so please be sure to subscribe and give the show a positive review on iTunes. Doing those things is helpful and appreciated for sure. So, for today's episode, I will recap the Fireside Sessions, episode 4. I did another live chat with the Tedeschi Trucks band fans private Facebook group after the Fireside Sessions episode 4 premiered. And it was fun. And the lineup tonight was Gabe Dixon, Brandon Boone, and Mike Madison, Mark Rivers, Susan, Derek, Tyler, Falcon Greenwell. Did I miss anyone? I don't think I missed anyone, but no, it was just a great show. This was a fun from start to finish, and I think I should just get started with the chat because I don't really have any other things to mention other than continue to if you're not purchase the shows at nugs.net and also support Tedeschi Trucks band, their crew, givebutter.com /TTB. That's givebutter.com /TTB to help support the crew of TTB. But let's just get into the conversation that I had with the other fans. Here we are. Episode 4 of the Fireside Sessions is in the books. Anyhow was the first song they did tonight. And of course, this week we had Mike and Mark and Gabe, and Brandon, Falcon, Susan, Derek. Did I miss anyone in the lineup? It's good to see Mark Rivers there. It was Mark Rivers' first appearance in the Fireside Sessions, as far as, if I'm recalling correctly. I think so. Yeah, we were talking about last week how hypnotic the riff is. The riff on Anyhow that Derek plays throughout is just it's ear-catching, and you get so into it. Yeah, Derek was he always is pushing Susan to play more guitar, do more solos, as David Flam is commenting on here. Derek winking at Susan. Yeah, I don't mind the repeats of the songs. Not that I thought I was going to or anything like that, but, you know, in my mind, I'm like, I want to hear 75 original songs and no repeats. But the fact that there's also a week in between these shows, that kind of, I don't want to say helps, but you don't know what you're expecting when they play from week to week. So everything is like a surprise and it pops. You know, I wasn't expecting Anyhow, and then I'm like, they go into Anyhow. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sold right away. And you know, of course, it's a different lineup and a whole different vibe every week, and a different sound. And we know no two versions of Tedeschi Trucks band songs, you know, of the same song or, you know, sound the same. Susan just looks like she's having fun up there. And she makes it look, and I guess sound easy. Like she sings so powerfully, yet effortlessly. And I don't know, I just had these observations from time to time when watching and listening to them. It's nothing really specific about her on Anyhow, just having these thoughts and feelings in the moment while taking in the show. Yeah, Derek and Susan had like a little moment there trying to figure out who was going to play that solo on Anyhow. Derek is too nice. You got to figure out that shit in advance. I guess they're going based on feel, who's in the mood to do what, and Derek is a generous band leader from everything I can see, and from what I've talked about in this podcast with many people at this point. Larry James says the sessions in Florida were likely rehearsals, so repeats aren't really repeats. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they didn't really, yeah, exactly what he said. Brandon looks focused. He looks like in the zone, but not that he looked like he was having fun throughout, but it's such focus. And as the youngest guy in the band, you could kind of see a little bit how, I don't know. He wants to do well. Who doesn't want to do well? And he's awesome. But you could see how focused he was, but really how much fun everyone was having. That just shines through from week to week. Yeah, the afternoon vibe was good. Were all the other says David Flam, were all the other shows recorded at night, shot at night? I hadn't really even given that too much thought. Yeah, so I guess this was the first daytime vibe show. And I might as well talk about that if we're talking about that now, is that the natural light looked great. Like just everyone on camera. And I especially noticed it when there was this one shot when Mike Madison was singing. I forget what song it was. We'll get to it later, but he and they looked kind of like angelic, and just the natural light made me feel more like I was like there. You could almost like feel the weather that it might have been that day where they were. It seemed a little chilly. They were long sleeves, and then they got the fire going, and then you saw Derek in short sleeves later. I don't know if this was all recorded chronologically, but I'm piecing the narrative together based on what I observed. But if you guys don't have anything else about Anyhow, I'll move on to song 2, which was When Will I Begin? Yes, Susan had some fire duty tonight, says Steve in the chat. Yes, Derek tended to the fire during a Susan guitar solo, and then she returned the favor later, which is definitely part of the charm of this whole thing, to be honest with you. And then Derek was working on the fire before in previous episodes as well. It's like you're hanging out with them in their living room and by their fireplace or whatever. It's just a great vibe. I'm going to keep using the word vibe, and I'm going to keep using the words beautiful and awesome. You guys got to help me come up with some better words. I have too many windows open. I'm not going to pull up the source right now. But anyway, When Will I Begin? But what else is there really good else to say about this song that hasn't been said by me and others in the TTB fan circles at this point? Like, I made a big post about it in the private Facebook group, the Tedeschi Trucks Band Fans Facebook group that I'm doing this chat in right now, about how much I really love that song, and just having Mark and Gabe and Mike doing background vocals this go around just gives the song another dimension, and was great to hear them all together. And this show just had like at least at the beginning, before they got the fire going, the jeans, sweatshirt, flannel, cool but sunny day kind of vibe going for sure. We're gonna get to that on the Mountain Jamish instrumental. I wasn't even sure if that was a just a jam or a cover or what it was, but When Will I Begin is just such a I don't know. It's just like a perfect, amazing, beautiful song. Pitch perfect song. That's how I like to describe things. Um, Sang pitch perfectly by Susan. And I just thank her for that song. Like, I don't know. It's fucking thank you for making that song exist. I don't know. What else? You guys have anything else on When Will I Begin? Because I don't know if I just like the song, but I'm kind of done talking about it for the time being. I will say that. And then we can move on to song 3, I suppose, here. Get Out, My Life Woman, Alan Toussaint cover that they do. I wrote Derek with a heart here. That was referring to his just tasty licks that he introduced this song with. Something about that groove is just great, and just an awesome song. And I know I'm using the word great and awesome. You need to take notes next time, says Steve. You do, and you know what I was thinking about earlier. I go on all these tangents, but like from this time, yeah, it's a Derek Trucks Band staple. Get Out My Life Woman. Yeah, they've been doing it a long time, Derek. But yeah, I love the groove, David Flam. But yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to go to a Tedeschi Trucks Band show again and not take notes, because I'm assuming I'm going to like talk about the show on the podcast. Like that would be an episode of this podcast, is me going to a show and then just like talking about the show. So I'm going to have to take notes, I guess, or not necessarily if I know if there's a taper there. No, I'm still going to take notes. Yeah. Gabe had a very nice solo, very fluid on the organ, says Larry James. Yeah, just they had a great groove going with this one for sure. And Susan's solo was super smooth. And Derek was into it. And we all love the Gabe solo, as we're talking about here in the group. And I'm just observing that, you know, besides the smaller lineup in terms of the numbers of people on stage, the stage itself, the performance area is smaller than it would be, I would say, on most theater stages or at most venues they perform at. So they're closer together as well on the stage. So between them being physically closer together and this being filmed professionally, you really get sort of a more intimate look at the intimate interactions between the band members on stage. The smiles and the looks and the nods when to come in and out. And yeah, Derek is just a busy man on that stage trying to you know, bring everyone in and out and get all the timing right. Yeah, Larry James is commenting on Gabe's funky abilities here. Let's see here. Anything else on Get Out My Life Woman? Otherwise, we'll go to 4. Fourth song, Key to the Highway. And yeah, this is when Derek was fixing the fire during Susan's solo. And I don't know, maybe you guys can comment on this, but I feel like when Derek leaves the stage, Susan has a little bit of a different energy herself on guitar. Like it's probably almost freeing. It has to be freeing if you're a guitar player and Derek is not there in some regard, like, because it's hard to it's hard to play alongside of someone on this other worldly level. But when he's off the stage, she's just Susan. I just think of her as Susan Tedeschi, you know, the solo artist in a sense. Just I think about, you know, oh, it's like me listening to one of the Susan Tedeschi solo records or something right now, and I think of how great she was on guitar and all those records, and so she can more than hold her own. So I enjoyed that aspect, and I would love to see a little bit more of that, even just Susan leading the show for a couple of songs, and playing some more guitar on stage by herself, and a lot more, and some more lead stuff. But you can hear the crowd roaring after her at the end of her solo. At the end of all these Susan Tedeschi guitar solos on these bluesy type songs, we all hear the crowd reaction, and I could imagine all you guys, of course, screaming in your apartments. I didn't scream, at least not this week. I'll scream next week. We'll get back into it. And they just complement each other, Susan and Derek on guitar. They have their own unique sounds that work well together, even when they're both playing sort of lead type, more single note or whatever, and kind of licks on top of one another. I love that. And they give you just the right amount of it, I suppose. They always leave you wanting more, and wanting more of everything. They leave you just wanting more. You just want a little bit more of Susan, a little bit more back, a little bit more of someone else sing. You just want a little bit more of everything. No crying this week. I did not cry, Larry James. And Larry was also saying Susan's done a great job of stepping up on guitar and just doing her thing. Ian says Susan's great on guitar, and he enjoys when she gets into it on a blues track. Yeah, like I joke around about hearing the crowd being revved up as she, her solo crescendos or whatever, your climaxes, whatever you want to say. But you feel that while you're watching it at home. It's quite something. Maybe it's just like what do they call it? Like that Pavlov's dog thing. It's like Susan solo. It's like you feel and hear like the energy of the crowd. But song number 5 was the instrumental track, the instrumental song, and Derek was playing his gold top guitar. I don't know if that was Dwayne's guitar. We can figure that out. You guys, probably not. It's probably his guitar again, I would assume, if it's the same guitar at the same sessions. But that was just an original jam, the instrumental. Is that correct? I don't know if that was a cover of anything. It could be. I don't know every song, believe it or not. I don't know most songs. Larry James is a fan with just the fire emoji. Yeah, it was just a good vibe. It was kind of the vibe had a combination of a bunch of different songs in there. You heard a little mountain jam in there, a little bit of like, and it's got that Allman Brothers sort of peaks and valleys. And yeah, Steve, kind of piggybacking on that here, says there were really many powerful soft moments this week. I thought that comment was going to be just about in the one jam there were powerfully. So I think the consensus is that this was like a smorgasbord mishmash of Allman Brothers type vibes coming out of this jam. So it's not a surprise that we are fans of it. Tammy says it's been interesting that they did not announce each song as they had done previously. They comment on them afterwards. It seems like Susan says that sometimes it's sporadic. It's sporadic what they say. I guess it might not be particularly planned. They're just like, oh, we'll play this one next, and then they kind of decide on the fly probably what they're going to say about it. Mostly Susan. Derek did not talk this week. David Flam is happy that he's going to have a recording of that jam, and I mean, Gabe's organ sounded great. Brandon is smooth on the jam. Derek is having a lot of fun. You could see it. And Susan, yeah, again, this was when Susan was fixing the fire, I think, upon her return. But what do we got here? They did the time lapse. There was a time lapse next because I guess they were figuring some things out and setting some things up in between song 5 and 6. So they, instead of doing some kind of cut, we just saw probably what was I don't know, maybe the whole time lapse was 30 seconds, but it was probably maybe a few minutes of actual time that passed. Does anyone have that skill? That would be a unique skill, just watching time lapses and figuring out exactly how much time has passed and how long, whatever. The point is that the next song was a Mike song, and was that was a new original? Is that correct? Yeah, that you guys in the chat are still talking about that jam, and Tammy's mentioning how much fun they're having, and Larry James is talking about seeing that jam live, is how awesome that would be. Basically, they should turn up the mics in between songs, says Steve. Yeah, they should, when they go into the kitchen to get, a snack out of the fridge, they should continue to have the mics on so we could know exactly what's going on, at all times with everyone in the band. I'm just fucking around. The poster behind Derek is from their 4-night run at the Ryman, says David Flam. The time lapse was at 12 times speed, says Mark Lowenstein. Thank you. But how many? So that's how many minutes was elapsed? 30 times 5. Yeah, so it's about 4 or 5 minutes. What was? It sounded like an original. That's what I was going to ask, because Susan commented. I think at the end, I was making noise on my end in my apartment, but I think she did comment that was an original written by Mike, as David Flam literally typed as I'm saying that. And it just makes me think about, that they are just so soulful. I have to say that slowly because I don't know how to speak properly. No, I do struggle with that phrase, but it's one that needs to be used repeatedly when describing this band. Heart of the Matter. That is what I wrote down. I wrote down because I fucking skipped over a song didn't write down, didn't know the name previously. But first I wrote down Where Are My Friends, because he did say that 2 or 3 times. And then I wrote down Heart of the Matter, which did sound like more of a chorusy type title. Heart of the Matter seems more powerful. Where Are My Friends? That just seems kind of sad. Don't go with that. They have time to probably change that or decide on song titles. What else you guys got as far as that new song? How many new songs do we have so far? 3? Have we heard 3 new songs? Or 2? Fucking losing my mind over here. We heard Hear My Dear. We heard Heart of the Matter. We heard this instrumental, if that's going to be something. What am I missing? 2. There wasn't another original with lyrics? I Be Tripping? They did some new covers. 2 tonight. 3 plus the jam. Hear My Dear. Yeah, but they played Hear My Dear. I'm reading in the jam here, so if my in the podcast this sounds fragmented. Smiling on Me. Thank you, Renee. That's right. I can see you smiling on me. That's right. I knew I missed one. Damn, that's right. Yeah, that's worth the cost of the whole sessions or whatever, just getting 3 new songs. Like, I would just fucking pay for that if they just said, you can have 3 new songs for blah, blah, 3 new Tedeschi Trucks Bands songs for X amount of dollars. I probably would not hesitate. Damn, so we're like a third of a way to a new album. I feel like Signs just came out. I wasn't even expecting anything. I I suppose this soon, but I guess it's been a couple of years or whatever. But still, I'm happy to have originals. Can we name the original? Asks Fred. I think you just got to put the ideas into the universe and kind of go from there. That's what I would. That's what I would suggest. But what the hell do I know? But if you guys don't have anything else on that song, we'll go with go on to the next one. Don't Think Twice. I was just wondering if that's the greatest song of all time. I mean, is it? Could it be? I guess if you said it was like your favorite song, or you say it was the greatest song of all time, it's not one of those things you can argue about. Yeah, I'm just such a Dylan fan too. I mean, I did the whole episode talking about the influence Bob Dylan has had on both Susan and Derek, and she sings the song, so beautifully. See, I said beautifully instead of beautiful, so it's fucking not repetitive for you guys. But yeah, there's a beautiful Gabe solo in there as well. And Susan never misses a note, I don't know how she, just forget the style and the the uniqueness of her voice, just like the perfection and precision can't be overlooked as well. But what else do you guys have to say about Don't Think Twice? It's a song that I play, actually. By I play, I mean I try to play. I sing it more in the Bob Dylan style, I suppose, than the Susan Tedeschi style. Hey Sue Cody, late as usual. Saying hello. What else you guys got? Fred is eager to check out the Don't Think Twice performance that they did tonight again. But if you guys have nothing else on that, I'll move on to the final song of the night. I Wish I Knew How to Be Free. Is that the title? It's funny because I don't even know these titles, because I see everyone just like posting the set lists from various shows that TTB does. So it's just like, I'll see like, I Wish I Knew. So, but I don't even know if that's the name. Maybe is that the actual official name of the song? I Wish I Knew. Anyway, yeah. Also, a Derek Trucks Band staple from back in the day. And this version that they did here tonight had a little bit of a different, I don't say energy or vibe, but, different sound than what they normally do. And I don't think it's just because they had, half the amount of personnel on stage. It just had a little bit of a different rhythm and feel to it, as Ian is commenting here. Thought Derek's intro sounded different tonight. It was great. Yeah. I like to hear the songs in slightly different, I don't want to say styles, but, just different, all these different versions and different ways they approach these songs and structure them. Mark's vocals always stellar on that song. Yeah, what did I write here? Mark Rivers bringing it. Yeah, I said that same thing in so many words, Tammy. And I just wrote down Falcon. I take for granted, and I think we probably all do. Just how great a job he does, and his amazing feel for the band, and for what Derek is sort of how he's leading how he leads on stage. You can see how Falcon is right there with him throughout the performance. Falcon is a gem, says Tammy. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe because it's like I'm like a basic dude, and you know, I'm sort of more think into the guitar playing and all that. I will say that. So I kind of can take the bass player and the drummer for granted. Like, you know, but they're awesome. They're great. And yeah, I mean, people are commenting here, Steve and Sue, saying that you know, Mark is they want to see more Mark, and Mark is always a highlight for sure. Yeah, no, they're all great. They're all wonderful. They're all talented. I'm glad that we have this to watch. How many more we got? 2? Yeah, they're gonna do more, right? They have to crunch the numbers to see, you know, if it's worth their while. I hope it is, especially if they're not going to get on the road. That we'll get more of these types of performances, just more music, just more everything. I Want More. Have they played I Want More yet? I don't think they've played I Want More yet. I do make that pun a lot. Maybe because I want things. Oh, we did skip Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad? Oh man, I'm sorry. That's the second week in a row I did that. Yeah, I love Susan's vocal on this song, and yeah, every song that they do when they cover Derek and the Dominoes is stellar. And when TTB covers a song, it's not just them covering a song because they like a song. I think it's them taking whatever they're playing to a whole nother level. And of course, usually giving a shout, or not a shout, but a nod to a particular version of a song or a style or something about how a past great artist would do one of these songs that they cover. David Flam just said better than the original. Okay. I'm too nice. It's hard for me to say bad things about, not that it's bad things, but yeah. No, I enjoy what Tedeschi Trucks Band does, but that Derek and the Dominoes album is also quite something. Yeah, we can continue to talk more about Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad. Tammy's commenting that people need to donate to the Give Butter account. Yeah, I will throw that a plug for that in the intro and outro of this episode, I'm sure. Will they wait until the last show to play Midnight in Harlem? Asked Steve. Maybe. It doesn't matter. I feel like it's hard. Like I could see why it's like dramatic or something like that. But, you know, I love all those songs that they played at the 5th show and didn't play at the 6th show. I would have been like, it would have been more dramatic. No, I don't really care. Because there's so many songs that are great and I love all of them. Larry James says, Derek's slow jam build up on Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad is so good. He used to pair that with Clapton when he was in that band. Yeah, I remember. I've seen a few of those versions. What is it, from like 2006, 7, whatever, around that time when he was touring with Eric Clapton. They made a DVD of that. Obviously, I must have seen it from something like that. Was that with the J.J. Cale tour? J.J. Cale was on that one too? Let's see here. Guess I just enjoy Susan's vocals more. That's totally understandable. Yeah, Dwayne Allman vibes. Yeah, I felt that. You do feel the Dwayne Allman vibes from Derek. I mean, a lot of the times I'm not thinking about Dwayne and his playing when I'm listening to Derek. And I'm just like, oh, this is just Derek. It's his own thing. It's whatever. But then there's other times where I'm like, this dude is channeling this other dude. So I like that. I have a good balance. I have a good Dwayne Derek balance in my brain and in my fandom for both of them. Because I know some people can get caught up in the who's better, who's this, who's that, or compare and contrast. I'm just interested in just listening to the music and I guess making the connection between them. It's not so much about comparison. Sue says in the chat, I remember when Why Does Love Oughta Be So Sad came out. Yeah, he used to play that album over and over again. Derek and the Dominoes, the Layla album, of course, which I've been referring to. Yeah, Susan and Derek make everything sound better. Well, everything they cover. I don't want to say turns to gold because they pick great songs. Typically, two cover. But yeah, I think now got all the songs. Did we not get all the songs? I think we got all the songs. But yeah, I thank you guys for hanging out here, and we'll wrap up the podcast portion of this. So there you go, the Fireside Sessions episode 4 recap. That was fun, and I again definitely appreciate everyone taking the time and hanging out after what was an awesome performance by the band. The part of TTB, the musicians that we saw tonight, everyone did an amazing job. And we're getting some new songs. That's always good. That's always good that they're continuing to move forward and create. I think that's the big thing, that they're creating new art and new music, and we the fans are hungry for it, I think. At least I am. But anyway, for now, hope everyone is doing okay out there. Check out Tedeschi Trucks podcast on Instagram. That's at Tedeschi Trucks podcast. And of course, remember to tap subscribe or follow on iTunes, Spotify, or via whichever way you listen to this show. Again, positive reviews on iTunes are greatly appreciated. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Choit. TTB, you can see at TedeschiTrucksBand.com, GiveButter.com/TTB to support the band's crew. That's GiveButter.com/TTB. Nugs.net for the Fireside Sessions. But I think that's about all I got for today. And again, thanks for listening. Later.